Welcome to The Explainer. So, Rocket Companies, they're making some huge moves to totally change the home buying game. Their CEO just dropped a massive new strategy, and today we're going to break down exactly what's going on. Okay, so you've got the slowest housing market since, 1995? A really tough time to be in this business. But Rocket CEO Varun Krishna isn't just talking about surviving, he's talking about dominating. So how are they going to pull that off? Let's get into it. All right, here's the plan. We'll start with the challenge of this crazy housing market. Then we'll look at Rocket's scorecard, how they're actually doing. After that, we'll talk about their secret weapon, AI. Then the master plan, building this huge super company. And finally, we'll wrap up with the big vision for the new Rocket.
Okay, first things first, the challenge. You really can't understand what Rocket is doing without getting a handle on the market they're in right now. The CEO called it complex and difficult, and believe me, that's putting it mildly. So here's the heart of the problem. We're on track for the slowest year for existing home sales since 1995. Think about that. That's almost 3 decades. Even though prices and interest rates are calming down a little, so many people are just waiting. The CEO described it as this huge coiled spring of pent-up demand, just waiting to be released. All right, so given that backdrop, this super tough market, how did Rocket actually do? Well, their Q3 performance might surprise you. It's kind of a plot twist. This is where things get really interesting. You look at the market as a whole, right? Slowing sales, a sluggish recovery. It's a tough picture. But then you look at Rocket's Q3. They're gaining market share, having their strongest purchase quarter in years, and crushing their revenue goals. They didn't just meet expectations, they really, really blew past them. Yeah, get this. $1.783 billion in adjusted revenue. That's a huge number, and it was way above what they even predicted for themselves. This shows that they're not just surviving. They're actively finding ways to grow, even when everyone else is struggling. And check this out. A 26% increase in net rate lock volume just from the previous quarter. That is a huge jump. The CEO sees this as clear proof that their whole system is built to be nimble, to just pounce on opportunities the second they appear. So the big question is, how? How are they pulling this off? Well, the CEO was pretty clear. He pointed to one big thing, their secret weapon, which is their all-in proprietary use of AI. And they're not just talking about AI in the abstract. This quarter, they rolled out 3 brand new AI agents. You can almost think of them as super efficient robot employees. The first one, Pipeline Manager, helps bankers find the best leads, and that alone boosted conversions by 10%. Another one just plows through purchase agreements. And the third helps their broker partners get underwriting done way, way faster. And this is where you really see the power of that AI. The old way of reviewing a purchase agreement, it took over 80 manual steps, just a total slog. Now, with the new AI agent, they've cut the processing time by 80%. That adds up to saving over 150,000 team member hours every single year. I mean, that's just a massive, massive advantage. Okay, so AI is a huge part of this story for sure, but it's not the whole story. The other key part of their master plan is about building a true super company, and that involves a couple of really big acquisitions. First up, Redfin. Why buy a real estate website? Well, it solves one of the biggest problems in the mortgage business, finding new customers. Now they have this giant pipeline. We're talking nearly 50 million users a month of people who are actively looking to buy a home. And it's already working. In September, 13% of their retail purchase loans came straight from Redfin. And then there's the Mr. Cooper deal. This one is a blockbuster. They're buying their servicing business, which does 2 things. First, it gives them a huge, stable stream of revenue. And second, it gives them the industry's largest portfolio of existing mortgages, which is the key to something they call recapture. So you heard the CEO mention this word a lot, recapture. What does it mean? It's pretty simple, actually. It's about making sure that when one of their existing customers is ready to buy a new home or refinance, they stay with Rocket. It's about not letting that customer go to a competitor. It's about keeping them in the family, so to speak. And the scale of this is just mind-blowing. When you combine the Rocket and Mr. Cooper portfolios, you're talking about a direct relationship with nearly 10 million clients. That creates the biggest recapture engine in the business. They basically get a head start with millions of homeowners. So you take the powerful AI
You add in the massive customer funnels from Redfin and Mr. Cooper. And what does it all add up to? Well, it leads to the CEO's big vision, creating what he calls the new Rocket, a company in a category of one.
Here's the quote from the CEO, Varun Krishna. "We are a homeownership company bringing end-to-end integration to housing at a scale the industry has never seen." What he's saying is, forget about us being just a mortgage company. They want to be an all-in-one platform for everything related to owning a home, from the moment you start browsing online to your very last payment.
In this table, this really explains the entire strategy in one shot. For decades, you had these separate businesses: real estate agents, mortgage lenders, and the companies that service your loan. They all had their own problems. What Rocket is doing is smashing them together. They're using the cheap leads from Redfin to feed the mortgage business, and then using that giant servicing portfolio to keep customers for life. Each part of the company fixes a problem for the other part. It's designed to be a perfect loop.
So what's the end game? It's about building a business that can win no matter what the economy is doing. It's an all-weather model. Think about it. When interest rates are high, like now, and the buying market is slow, that giant servicing portfolio just keeps churning out steady, predictable cash. But the moment rates drop and the market takes off, their origination engine, fed by Redfin, is built to just explode with new business. So by breaking down these walls that have existed in the industry forever, and by going all in on AI, Rocket is making a huge bet. They believe they've created something totally new, a company that's truly in a category of its own. But that leaves us with a big question, right? Is this all-in-one, completely integrated future of home ownership, is that what people actually want?